Alright, so welcome to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about data store preference. You may be asking, what is data store preference? So, data store preference is used to store key values onto the device. So, key values onto the device. So, what you're thinking, what are the key values that you be storing? So, for instance, our app that we are building, the news app that we are building. On a previous video, we created an onboarding screen, and this onboarding screen, we we, what this onboarding screen does is it gives you a brief experience of what you are expected to be. A brief experience about the app. Sorry. So this screen is just for the first timers, for the first comers, or for the people who have just installed the app, so that to give them what the app is about. So immediately press on or immediately tap on the get started. What is supposed to do that? It's supposed to store a value, and whenever you relaunch the app again, you're not supposed to come back to this screen again. So that's what for instance, that's what the data store preference comes in. So it stores such values, such key values onto the device. Get me? Yeah. So without much ado, let's just jump into the implementation of the code. But before then, we need to implement the library. So there's a library. This library is from Google. So at first we use shared preference. Yeah. So it's the same. The data store also does the same work as a shared preference, but in more advanced way. So you need to add this. So this one I'll be adding it into the description below for you to add it to your project whenever you. Yeah, so let's just jump right to it. So our project is set to begin using the data store preference. Okay, so now first of all, what we need is we need to create. So for this project, we are using a clean architecture, and clean architecture, as I said earlier on, is just a way of arranging your classes into packages. Yeah, let me just say that like that. Just arranging your this one. So we have three layers. We have the domain layer, we have the data layer, and we have the presentation layer. So I'll just set a video or make a video on that and explain it to details. So first of all, we'll create our domain. Call this one domain layer. Oh, okay, domain. Then we have our data layer. So data layer. Yeah. So first of all, we'll create an interface in the data layer. Sorry about that. So create an interface. We'll call it local user manager. So local user manager. So this will be an interface. All right. So you'll be asking, why do we need this right here? So we are going to create a function that whenever we tap on the get started, it stores it. It stores it for the first time. Then whenever we relaunch the app again, we need we need to read whether, okay, is this person using the app for the first time, so that we show him the onboarding screen, or is this the second time he's using it, so that we allow him, or this is the third or fourth time he's using it, so that we just show him the main screen. Sorry. So we have a function called, so we can just, yeah, we have a function, we have a suspend, we call it suspend function. So suspend meaning execute it whenever we need it. So suspend, like suspend, we call it saved app. Let's use small letter, save app entry. Sorry. save app entry, and so this one will be a function. So I think that's it. Then we'll go to we'll use what read app entry. So this one to also be a function, but this one will be a flow function, a flow. Let's close flow function. So it can't be a h. Sorry. Flow function, which this flow, which you take the a boolean. Oh, sorry. To take a boolean. All right. Return a boolean. Sorry. So now we have to implement. Oh, what did I do? Okay, so now we are to implement this in the data layer. So we'll go to data. Then we'll call local user manager. Sorry. Local user manager. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just call our local user manager, this one. Then this will require us to implement the classes. So sorry about that. So what we are going to do now is we are just going to store two values. It's just true and false. Whenever the person clicks on the get started, it stores true, and whenever the person the user relaunches the app again, we already have true, so we don't need to show the onboarding screen. This screen I'm talking about, this onboarding screen. Yeah, so we've created a video on it already, so we don't need to see this page again. So let's just, so first of all we need to create I think private, so context data. First of all, we need to pass the parameters over here. So I think private var context. Then this context. So we'll call our system DataStore. I think we need a var over here. Yeah. So DataStore. Then we'll call our DataStore preference. DataStore. Why is it not showing? Okay, I think it's DataStore rather. And we'll implement it. Then we'll call preference over here. So this one. Okay, the preferences DataStore. Okay, so this. And we have a name. So what what are we storing? So we need to give it a name. So come here. I think we need to create another package that will be storing our. Or do we have that package already? I think. Okay, let's create another package. We call it U2. We'll be storing our global to. So come here, create it to be an object. So we can just call it constant. I don't know whether we have this already. Constant. Then we can just call it user settings. Bring your var over here. So it will be the type of it will be the so this will be the key value to be stored in our app. So we'll just go back to our we can just call constant dot let me just call constant then. Okay, so this is our key value, but we need another app. I'll call it preference key. Then copy this, paste it here. You can just call app entry. So this is the key name, but we want the key value. So we can just boolean preference is key. Then just go to the same place. App entry. Copy the same thing over here, paste, change it up entry. Okay, so now we'll come here, we'll enter constant dot app entry. Okay, so now let's implement our so we can call, and we have our data store. So this is what we've created in our context. So I think this can only be done in Kotlin, where you can already created classes. You can just adjust it and add your own class. Yeah, I think this is only in Kotlin. So we'll just edit it. So we'll just edit it. Then we'll call it settings. You have a settings. Then settings will break. Open the store. Call our preferences key dot app entry. That will set it to true. So what this line of code means is that whenever we trigger this function, we just set this one to true. You get me? So whenever we tap on the get save, we set this one to true. That's our first time opening the app. Then the second time we'll read. So we'll return. We need to return a boolean. So we'll still call our context call data store. Then we use the map function, the map keyword. I think the map. Well, all right. So what we need to do is we need to use the data. Then we use the map function over here. So we on call. I think we can just use app entry app oh app entry app entry. Just copy the same thing over here. Paste. But here we need to copy. So all right. So we'll set this one to false rather. So false. Yeah. So yeah. So that's all. That's all. We can. Let's make this one private because we don't need it outside the function. We just set it to private. Okay. So yeah. So that's all for this side. Then we'll move on to creating. So we'll move on to creating a. Let's call it. Do you have a manager over here? I think no. We are supposed to put this one. We have manager package. So put this one here. Refactor. I'll surely delete this one. Okay, so this one doesn't want to delete, so we'll delete this one. So you have the same thing over here. Whoa. Oh. What did I just oh, oh. Let me just cut this, paste it here. Then I'll just remove this. We have some errors over here. We can just copy this, cut this. Yeah, so we just create a use case, use cases. The first use case. So the use cases. So we can just call another package app entry. So this is a good a good way or a good way of arranging your code so that whenever you are scaling or you're in a big company where there are so many classes, you don't get confused when you're trying to debug it or you are trying to add another code or another feature to the application. Okay, so call this one app errors. Oh, call this one. I can just refactor, rename, read. You can just call this one read app entry use cases. Okay, so we'll just press the rename. So we'll just have the rename here, rename. Oh, do de facto. Okay, so what we need over here is we need to call our local user manager here, because we are going to use okay, we are in the next video we will explain what Dagger Health is. We are going to pass a parameter, we are going to pass a feature. So we are going to pass a feature to our parameters, then we'll be using it over here. So I think I've missed, yeah, so this, then whenever the person whenever we'll just call operator fun invoke this is this is the flow, not this flow. This is the flow that will return boolean. Then I think correct influence. Okay, so implement the body. So we can call local this parameter that we've passed, local user this. Oh, I need to set val. Private val, sorry. So we can just call the read app entry over here. Okay. I think we need to return it, right? Yes. Okay, so we'll create the same thing for the save app entry. So save app entry save app entry use cases. Let's rename. Yeah, we need this side. Save app entry use cases. Just copy the same thing over here. Copy the same thing over here. Now I think we'll paste it here. same thing, paste it here, but we need to change this. We don't need this invoke, we only need, no need to call this return, we call local save app entry. I think, okay, so this is a suspend function, so we just bring our suspend over here, then we'll remove this file. Okay, so yeah, so we'll go ahead and create our data class, because we don't want to call it directory. So call it app entry use cases. So we'll just call it data class, and a data class uses parameters. So what we just need is to save app entry use cases, save app entry use cases. Okay, so that's all we need. And we need read app entry use cases. Put a comma over here. Okay, so this video is too long. We will need to end it over here. Thank you very much.